Oh my goodness. Good morning. What is happening, all you amazing people out there in the Omniverse? If you can't tell, I'm a little pumped today. I got a super cool, super fun announcement that I just can't take credit for because it wasn't my idea. I think Miss Izzy, Mr. Jake, and Mr. Clyde are the ones that planted the seed, and we'll talk about that here in a second. If this is your first time here coming across my smiley face, I'm Jesse. And I'm going to talk about like this live stream because I'd have the No BS with Jen and Jess live stream with my partner in crime, Miss Jennifer Lacey. But that ain't going down today. That'll be next Saturday. So come back for that. This live stream, which happens every other Saturday, is all about selfish strategery. Yeah, I know. Strategery is probably not a real word, but it's a word in Jesse land. And the whole point of it is to help ambitious make it happeners like you do more of what matters without having the need or feel to apologize, right? It's about investing in you and taking better care of yourself so that you can better serve the people around you. An easier way to say it is I'm going to be talking about a lot of like time management, time mastery stuff every other Saturday. We're going to be having fun. And so if you are out there, if you are on the live, good morning to you. And let me know where you are calling in from. As always, if you are a repeat offender and you've been here before and you've been through the workshop and the support and accountability calls or any of the things and you got questions, you got insights or advice that you want to share, dump that into the chat because it is extremely valuable for me to be able to kind of steal some of your techniques, but also so that the other people that are on the live stream can tap in and like tap into your wisdom and your knowledge. We are reinstating the randomizer. And so what that means is as you leave comments in the chat, and whether you're coming in from YouTube or Facebook or the LinkedIn, doesn't matter, that will get your name put into a raffle. And when I do the draw at, let's say, about 25 minutes after the hour, the person that gets picked I don't know if this is a good thing. It might be a little bit of a threat, but the point is you'll get access to a very special community that is in the works. And again, we'll talk about that here by the time we end the show. And so if you're out there, let me know you're alive. Let me know you can hear me or see me because I don't really know. I'm got all my devices occupied with a bunch of different things. I'm trying to record 5 different ways, which, you know, is probably a little much, but it's what it is. So we'll work through that. And I am attempting to get, yeah. All right. So here we go. Josh has made a comment about the fans only situation. And so we're going to be talking about today, what I want to present in front of you is at least the title of the thing, right? Is Habit Building Secret. The one or one of the most powerful habit building secrets that I've been able to leverage and that I see a lot of people do naturally. And that's kind of the reason why I wanted to talk about it is it wasn't a natural thing for me, this habit. But in working with groups and building the communities and all the magical stuff that I get to do, it's obvious to me that some people do it naturally. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And so the simple way to think about it, and there's a lot of proverbs and different things out there, is like, if you want to go far, go together, right? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so what does that mean? That means like do the thing in a group. Do the thing in a community. And as it relates to a habit, the added value of like doing that out loud and inviting people in to see what you're doing, to be a part, to contribute, to tweak, to remind you is extremely valuable for some people. Again, I'm a little weird because it's not my, we'll say, default mode. My default mode is to like be alone, make a decision, put a system together, and then do the thing. That works well for me. But and so if you're like that, that's okay. And I'm here to tell you that while that is very effective, and yes, it absolutely does work, going together in a group, in a community, will accelerate your progress and also expand the amount, I will say, of learning, right? The shared experience. It just creates a better learning experience out there in the world. And speaking of community, we have Miss Leslie. Good morning, Miss Leslie. Thanks for jumping in. Super glad that you're here. And you might be a little confused, Leslie, because Jen ain't here. We'll be on the stage next week. This week is just me all by my lonesome. And I'm going to be talking about the habit building secret. If you want to go far, go together. And thank you, Leslie, for being here with me during this conversation. And so, in this idea of going far, to build a habit. So what the question then becomes is, what habit are we talking about, fool? Like you keep saying this, but what is it? I am 100% convinced that time mastery, self-management, aka time management, is a habit. It is a series of actions that I take that I can design into my life that will enable me to do the things I want to get done and spend less time and energy on things that I don't want to get done. Oh yeah, look, I'm getting some love back. Thank you for the warm welcome. Of course, Leslie, thank you for being here. And so the habit, again, time management, I struggle with the word time management that term or phrase, because there's nothing you can do to manage time, right? I can't speed it up. I can't slow it down. I can't get more. I can't deposit it, pause it, cash it in. Like, it's just going to happen. So there's nothing I can do to manage it, but I can manage myself, right? Like, bottom line, when I manage myself, I accomplish and contribute a tremendous amount of things within the time that I have. And when I don't manage myself, guess what? I'm flopping around on my hammock and I get nothing done in the time that I have. So the time is just a constant. And the key is self-management. And so now building the habits, right? The core of this thing is building the habit of how do I manage myself is an important thing. Like I said earlier, I have kind of come to the way that I'm doing it alone in my little cave, because I'm kind of a hermit and I hide out in my cave all the time. But I discovered, like, oh my goodness, this can help other people. And so high level, there's 3 layers, right? It's future planning, it's we'll say seductive scheduling, and then exotic execution, right? And so they're 3 separate functions, because my brain always wants to do all of them at the same time. And when that does is I make short-sighted decisions, don't make like a lot of progress, and get all amped up and anxious and everything. Uh-oh, we got Miss Jillian coming in from Facebook land. What's up, my sister? And so if I'm not clear about this idea of separating planning, scheduling, and execution, please let me know in the comments, because in my brain it makes perfect sense, but the words may not be landing with you. But the idea is this: we separate a specific venue, a specific method, a specific amount of time to plan. And that is just, what are all the things that I want to get done? What are all the amazing ideas that I've been suppressing because I have commitments and people have expectations on me and all. Like, no. We're going to be selfish and we're going to focus on me, because that's my favorite subject. And I hope your favorite subject, on the things that you really, really want and desire, not the things you feel obligated to. And we're going to get those things out of our head because they've been in there forever, right? So that's the planning. And all we're going to do is put them in front of us so we can see them. After we plan, then we get into the seductive scheduling, which means we're going to prioritize what are we going to do first, what's going to be second, what's going to be third, blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to find time in our calendar, because your calendar only has time for everybody else. I'm willing to bet you right now, if you're on this live stream and you go to your calendar, whether it's a digital like Outlook calendar, Google Calendar, your paper calendar, doesn't matter. My money says you have not made time for you. If I were to look at it, I couldn't find you, but I can find all the damn things that you owe other people, that you committed to do, that you're running people to practice, and all of that stuff. And so the idea is, now let's find some time for you and let's commit to that. That's the seductive scheduling part. And then when we get into exotic execution, why is it exotic? Because, man, it's so rare. We almost rarely ever, never execute on the things that we want to get done on a daily basis. Why? Because life, right? Life happens, and it gets in the way, and we have to juggle things, and we got to make decisions of what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. That's part of life. But there is a way to elevate our percentage of execution on a daily basis. And so it's kind of a funnel, right? It feeds down from planning to scheduling to execution. Now, I said a whole lot of, oh, look at this. Jillian knows. She says, yep, it's my me time. Look at this, even better. Gold star for Jillian. She says, my calendar says log in to Jesse on Saturday. I love it. Yeah, I made the calendar. Thank you, girl. That's pretty awesome. You're going to make me blush over here. So, okay, now I said a bunch of stuff, right? And it's probably not going to make sense to you. And that, like, I get it. We don't have enough time to get into all the details. And so maybe I'll just float the idea. And this, I can't remember who's responsible for the idea, but it's a fabulous one. On our last support and accountability call, I don't know if it was Melissa or Jake or Clyde, somebody said, Jesse, why don't you have an after party after the live stream, like these live streams, the solo casts, like you do for No BS with Jen and Jess? And I was like, oh, duh. Like, I didn't even think about that. Like, great idea. So we're going to try that today. I'll put a link. And again, like I said, it's going to be experiment, because I'm trying a different platform to do the after parties, to see if it's easier for people to access it from all the different socials. And so bear with me. Let's give it a shot. If it don't work, I still love you. But we're going to give that a shot. Again, why? Because we want to leverage the secret of building a habit with community, building a habit with other people. And so to start off with, the whole strategic selfishness idea is delivered in a group setting. And so it's a workshop. It's a half-day workshop. We're all online. And, my selfish mind, because, like I said earlier, I am my favorite subject. I only think about what I want out of the situation. And so when I think of group learning, the first thing that comes to mind is like, oh my God, I'm going to have to sit through people's dumb questions. Yeah, that's the way I am. But what I found out, right, like once I get over myself, what I found out was the questions that other people ask are extremely powerful for multiple reasons. One is because we're like live on the screen. I mean, we're not in person, but I want to do some of that. Anyways, we're live together. We can see people's faces, those who are sharing their screen or their camera. And when somebody asks a question, I can see somebody else in the group say like nod their head, like, yeah. And so all of a sudden, people that are have been struggling with the thing or the concept or the idea or the way I'm explaining it, they are like, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one that doesn't get it. Connection, community, right? And then the courage goes up to ask another question. And so again, if you're not a super selfish jerk like me, it kind of starts a fire of asking very nuanced questions and very deep questions so that people can reconcile the concept and the idea and make it make sense for them, right? Can you just go online and read stuff? Absolutely. And if that's your way, that's your model, do it. And if you want to accelerate and go further, do it with the group, because the shared experience creates this condition like memories, right? Like, oh man, I remember what's her name. I met him here. We had that question. It was a damn good question. He made a joke. Like all of these things happen um, as a result of doing together, right? And so that's my point is it's built into the thing. It starts with the high engagement learning experience. And if you already know, like I can talk all by myself. This is evidence of that. But when we have a group, when there's a group of people like super make it happeners, get it doneer type folk, like that amplifies my game and we have a hell of a time, or at least I do, right? And so that's what we do. Like that's the workshop experience. Now, again, I would research something, maybe listen to some YouTube videos, find some stuff, and now Chat GPT or whatever. And like, okay, cool, this makes sense. I'm going to do these things, and that's it. And I would do it. But it's a lot more fun doing it in a group. And then something popped up after we started doing the workshops, right? I don't know, I think I've had 5 or 6 at this point. Several people, not everybody, because some people got it. They got what they needed. They just needed one piece or 2 pieces. They already had kind of a system and this helped them refine it. But some people are like, oh my God, this is so much, because it is. It's a lot when we're talking about shifting our thinking and making ourselves a priority and evaluating what's on our calendar and thinking about how to filter out the stuff that's not bringing us fulfillment and joy. That's not easy for a lot of us. That's really uncomfortable. And so several group members said, hey, is it possible to have like follow-up calls? And I'm thinking, like, really? Isn't this boring? And like, no. Can we have follow-up calls so that now we have the concept and ideas? We're going to go practice them and try them. I'm going to forget things. I'm going to run into new problems. I might want to do it a different way. And I just want to check, kind of bounce it back. Does it work? I say, hell yeah, absolutely. So we added the feature of support and accountability calls. And those are 90-minute calls. And there's a series of them where we super focus on the selfish planning, right? Just high level planning. What are we going to do? The next 2 calls are focused on the daily execution. Why? Because the daily execution it's a slippery space, and you get a lot of reps so we can learn and have deeper conversation to make the tweaks and adjustments so that it becomes more powerful and more valuable for the individuals on the call. And then we wrap up with weekly planning, because weekly planning scheduling is a different jive. But if you don't have the long-term vision, right, the direction, this is what I think. I don't know. I didn't do any research. But when I don't have the long-term direction, where am I headed? Where do I want to go? And where am I now? That's daily. The scheduling doesn't matter, because my proof is when I wasn't doing the selfish, seductive planning, I've scheduled the hell out of my life. But everything on my schedule was about everybody else. And I was the last one. I got all the scraps, if I got anything at all. And so the scheduling is on the back half again, so that we can, all right, are we clear? Do we at least have a direction? And are we on the path? What is the path going to look like, right? Like that's all we need to know when we're doing the planning. And then we get into daily execution, because we got a lot of stuff that we got to kind of get out of our system to make space for us, for me. And then we go back into the scheduling. It's not super structured, but what's super ultimate fun for me is getting the insight and cheat codes from the folks that sign up. Like they're on the call, and not only are they asking questions, but they have a different insight. Like for real, I'm a single dude. There ain't no people, no plants, and no pets in my life. So I don't understand what it is to think about finding a daycare for my dog, or whatever that's called, or planning a holiday or vacation for the kids. Like that is not in my world. I don't get that. But in the group support and accountability calls, there's other regular, like real human beings that have family and pets and plants that can offer some insight to help somebody that has the same situation. And so maybe in summary on that point for the support and accountability calls, it's not me laying down the law, checking the test, right, and giving you a pass fail. It's a group experience in that everybody contributes. right? You bring your questions, you bring your thoughts, you bring your ideas, we share them, and we continue to reinforce the self-management habits that are going to enhance our quality of life, because that's the whole point, right? So we can do more of what matters for us. And like, so the counterintuitive thing is, the more I value me, the better I can serve the people in front of me. I know it don't make sense, but I'm living it right now. When I make myself a priority, I am better equipped, better able to serve the people I care about. It took me, 45 years to come to terms with that, but I'm here and I ain't leaving, and I ain't 45 anymore. So anyways, so that's the idea behind the support and accountability calls. And look, Jillian, oh, I love it. Jillian says, mastering your mind, mastermind group. Yeah, I like it. And yes, if y'all don't know, I did get to interview Miss Jillian like way when I first launched the podcast. It is an amazing conversation because Jillian was like bringing the heat, and she's still amazing, obviously, because she's here. Oh, look at that. Yes, Jillian, thank you. Because if you fill your cup or put your mask on first, then you can take care of the people around you. Now, I've always heard that. I've been flying around for a lot of years, but how to do that is the challenge, right? Like, sure, we all understand intellectually that if I take care of me, I got to fill my cup so I can serve others. I got to put my mask on before I put the mask on the baby, but we don't do it. My assertion is that we don't do it because we don't know how. And we can learn how, we can build the habit, the skill set to do that. And that's what's underlying this whole strategic selfishness idea. And so we talked about the workshop, which is super ultimate awesome. We talked about the support and accountability calls. And so now I'm gonna, oh man, we're 3 minutes away from the randomizer. So reminder, if you want, or I'm just gonna threaten you, if you commented in the chat, your name is thrown into the randomizer, and I'm going to hit select here in about 3 minutes. So drop your comments or whatever so that you can get in the randomizer, and the winner is going to get automatic admission into the announcement, right? So I'm going to make it a two-part announcement. Today, we're going to test. It may not work, and that's okay. We'll figure it out. Jillian, thank you. You gave me another idea to try. Today we're going to do or try doing the seductively selfish after party. What does that mean? What that means is, after this live stream, I'm going to put a link in the comments and stuff to see if we can get people to the thing, so that we can have a conversation. You can have your camera on or off. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to have mine on, but it's really just to have a conversation and have questions, or, tell me that I'm full of crap and I'm not making any sense. Doesn't matter. So that we can have some communication about the ideas that we talked about today. And I know, like, I'm not giving a ton of answers, except that when you want to build a habit, find a group. You don't have to join my group. You can, curate your own group. Find people that have experience or are doing things or flowing and moving and rolling in a way that's attractive to you. Get them together and say, hey, I want to work on this thing. Let's work on it together. It's that easy. Like, for real. It is that easy, and it is ultimate valuable. So part A of the announcement is the after party today. Again, that was not my idea. That came from the community, from the group, to say, hey, man, have an after party so we can talk about these things and maintain, here's the key, maintain the progress that we've already made from all of the other things. And make sure we don't get stuck, because it's easy to get stuck when you're all by yourself. That's the point. So we're launching the after party, super easy. I hope. It may not be, and we'll figure it out for the next one. And if you have any ideas on like a platform to have the after party where we can hear everybody's voices, not necessarily video, please drop them in the comments, because we've tried Teams, but Teams is kind of clunky. And so anyways, we'll figure that out. Part B, and again, leave your comments so you can get in the randomizer. Look at Jillian, micro moments. Yes, ma'am. The other part of this is as a part of like the whole thing. What we've been talking about is the strategic selfishness time mastery system, which is a workshop. It includes a workshop. It includes the support and accountability calls. And we're adding, or I'm going to add, a super secret exclusive community for people where it's chatty, right? It's kind of like freaking what do you call this? Social media. Damn, I can't believe I forgot that word. But the idea is when you get the thing, like we can maintain long term and check in on each other and have our small win celebrations, ask simple questions of each other to keep that momentum going. So it starts off like super, super deep. Half day, we're going to dive into all the things. After we dive into the things, you're going to have some time to get some reps in, get some practice. And then we're going to have calls every week or every other week that help us, the support and accountability to like cement the thing. And once we get past those calls, then there's going to be the ongoing long tail of, man, what do I do if this crazy thing happens or I want to celebrate a win? It was actually Melissa who said this. Miss Izzy, thank you, sister. She was like, hey, what really helps me stay motivated and continuing progress is knowing that I'm going to be talking to you fools. This ain't her language. This is my language. Say, but the thing that really, really helps me is knowing that I'm going to be talking to y'all and knowing that y'all are working on the same thing. So it helps me say, all right, I got to get up and do the thing because I'm going to talk to these fools here in the near future. And her follow-up question was like, so can we do something? Because that I need that. I would like that to continue going forward. I don't want to lose the progress I've made. And I'm like, well, shit, we could do this, which will be, we could share pictures, we could share tags, stay in touch and continue forward. And the group was like, yes, that would be awesome. So that's the second part B of the announcement. I'm going to be incorporating the seductively selfish community element to this whole experience. Now, if you're interested in the thing, drop me in the comments. Let me know if you want to do the masterminding, the selfish seductiveness, whatever. Just, I'm interested, whatever. Let me know somehow or DM me and I'll get you some information, because in July, I'm going to have another series of workshops on this whole thing. And whoever signs up gets like the whole package of everything I just described today. And ultimately, it is an easy way. Like, you don't have to do the work of recruiting the community, right? I'm gonna be bringing people in. I'm gonna be hustling hard to get some more people, because I've seen the impact it's had on the previous attendees. It's had big impact on my people, and I love it. Like, that's the whole freaking point. And so all you got to do, Miss Jillian says, I'm in, I like it. So I'll send you a link, sister, and we'll make that happen once I create the links, because I haven't done all that yet. But I'm gonna, if you're interested, if you know somebody that could, like, that's overworked, like they're kicking butt, but man, they look like the wheels are about to come off. This will help them, like, for real. All right. It is now time for the randomizer. So let me figure out how I could do that right now. There ain't a whole lot in there, and that's okay. So it's going to be the flip of a coin. Let's see who's going to get it. Oh man, look, 50 odds, heads or tails. Leslie. Oh my God, Leslie, you're so awesome. Congratulations. I will get you a link. It'll take a couple of days, but I'm going to get you the link for the for that super secret exclusive community. And I'm looking forward to you to being a part of that. And also, like, you have been ultimate supportive and contributed massively to my experience on this world, especially when you introduced me or showed me the secret chair out there in Central Park, which I think is still like so amazing. Made my trip down there really special. And so for the rest of you folks, I am going. Yes, Leslie, you are the winner. Miss Jillian says, congrats, girl. And so bear with me. Give me about 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to attempt to drop the link to this after party in the comments of the live streams. And again, give it a shot. If you can't get in there, we'll try something else. Jillian gave me a recommendation, so maybe we'll try that on the next one. But I want to try this, see if it works. If it lets you in, that'll be awesome. Love to talk to you, love to answer your questions. I'd love to hear if you think I'm a dummy or not, like whatever. I just want to talk to people. And if it doesn't work, I love you, but we'll try something next week. Like if you can't get in, then I don't know what to do. I'm just going to give up and give it another shot next time. Appreciate y'all being here. Be kind to yourself. Put yourself first. Be selfish. And let everybody know that I said it was okay. I will take the blame for you. And we'll talk at you next time. Peace.